Hey guys, this is just a quick, well, I guess it's not very quick, it's about 10 minutes long, but this is a commentary, um, more like a developer's log, describing my plans for Heroic Conquest and things like that. Um, First of all, this is, the footage you're seeing here is me fiddling around with talent-like points called Nexus points. Basically, every time you level up, you can spend a point into this huge amount of points, and it really allows you to customize your character. Anyways, that's my favorite feature, pretty much, of Heroic Conquest so far. There aren't many features yet. It's pretty early in the game development. I had to redo everything since the last time I made Heroic Conquest, because as some of you may know, I was already working on Heroic Conquest, but I scrapped it, started fresh because I found a new game engine which is 1,000 times better. It has particles and stuff. It's really, really impressive. Uh, you may notice that the frame rate in this video isn't all that great, but that's because Fraps kind of ate my soul and devoured it. But that's okay. Um, I'm taking some melee points here, but I don't think I'll be using melee because it actually crashes sometimes. And I realize this as I'm putting spells on my action bar. That's a bug I'm trying to fix right now. I do end up taking a range spec because I do like the ranged. I'm trying to balance everything right now. The spell was way more overpowered than melee tree because I just had to simply buff weapon damage across the board by making the built-in item maker that I'm using um, make the weapon damage about 6 or 7 times more powerful, and that seemed to do the job. That way, melee damage is about half of your DPS, while the other half is you pressing buttons. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's easier to balance everything now that I have this DPS meter at the top. As you can probably see, it says 0.0. Um, yeah, I'm using a stick of scoif. I don't even know where I came up with that name. I think I use that on a random name generator. Seventh Sanctum, probably. So, what do I have planned for Heroic Conquest? Well, in the not-so-distant future, I'm wanting to include a dungeon finder type thing, as you may see on World of Warcraft or Rift. Only since it's not really multiplayer yet, I'm going to have it solo dungeons only for a little while. Once I do include multiplayer, that'll be featured in the Dungeon Finder thing. I don't even remember what I call it, Dungeon Picker. I don't know. I'll probably change the name. Um, yeah, what it'll do is basically stick you in a random uh, solo dungeon, which you can actually level up all the way from 1 to 50 with. And it'll give you a reward once you finish it and things like that. It's pretty much a stolen idea directly from World of Warcraft or Rift, which I have no problem with. Um, yeah, as you can see, these things are protecting a dungeon I'm trying to get to, which I mow over them pretty quick because I've got a pretty good spec going on. I wanted to talk a little bit about release dates as well. This particular title is not going to be out for at least a year. I've got a ton of work to do on this. Um, I want to get quests going. Yeah, the quest editor isn't even in yet. That's pretty much one of the only things holding me back right now because questing is a very complicated system I would have to work with. That's why I'm implementing dungeons to start with. That way I don't have to do quests yet. But I am looking forward to it because making quests is a lot of fun, especially if I can manage to make a really good editor for it. But as for like alpha release, a public release, you can expect one once I get everything up to about level 20 out of 50, which, assuming I'm not so lazy, I really, really want to get it out probably within a month. Something playable, um, something with a lot less crashing. It seems that only melee specs, for some reason, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out, is the only thing crashing the game right now. The frame rate is really good. I'm very happy with the frame rate without fraps recording, of course. So yeah, what features would you guys like? What do you expect in a multiplayer game, especially an RPG style game? What do you think is lacking in the standard RPG market these days? I'm really wanting to get more skill-based uh, encounters going on, less about stand there and DPS your heart out. I want the player to be able to pick a good set of abilities that are like half is for doing your standard damage, and then the other half is for situational things, utility. But you know that's always a pipe dream. Um, it'll end up being somebody will find the best spec for the DPS, uh, which you gotta accept. But what I'm going to be doing is putting in way more points for utility than damage, so you are kind of almost forced to take some utility points, which I find is okay. Um, I just recently made it so spells can summon creatures, and those creatures can cast their own abilities. So I'm thinking maybe creatures could also have some utility in them. I don't know how exactly that would work, but yeah, I'm really excited for all the neat features. In regards to fat loots, because everybody cares about epics and amazing, awesome new gear, I am planning on having many, 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 many new items. I'm I made a new item maker recently, and it is awesome, and it is easy to use, and I'm starting to get a little masterful with a painting program called GIMP. So there will be a whole bunch of new pieces of armor, items, equipment, all that stuff, all that delicious, epic loots, and I'm looking forward to making hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of items in the next few months that is obtainable by the player. It's not going to be standard like on, I keep bringing these games up, but World of Warcraft and Rift and so many different games, how you just kill bosses and they drop your standard loot and you're good to go and that's it. I want many very, very rare items to drop, and I want crafted items to be as good as the stuff in dungeons, but kind of a challenge to obtain. And I'm really looking forward to I'm looking forward to a lot of things, but as you could clearly tell, I'm totally excited about pretty much everything this game has to offer. I I really want superior loot in this game that allows you to totally customize your character. Because what I did in this game, compared to the last one, is I went and I removed a lot of the item slots. So instead of having like helmet, neck, shoulders, cloak, chest, bracers, gloves, leggings, belt, boots, ring, trinket type style thing, I have basically just helmet, shoulders, top, bottom, and accessories. I think I have boots and gloves actually, but that's like 8 slots instead of the regular 16 or so. So this allows me to make a wider variety of gear as opposed to just trying desperately to fill the slots. And I think that will make the items more interesting. I'm wanting trinkets and stuff to not have actual stats on them. I want it to be very interesting effects that do not necessarily directly affect your DPS. So but that's just trinkets. Everything else is just fat loots with epic stats. Anyways, this commentary is coming to an end. Looking forward to making more of these. Just kind of like throw my ideas out there. And I'll see you next time.